That's what we're doing today. Let's see if we can get some stuff done. So I was thinking about this yesterday as I was adding tests. I mean, not as soon as I walked away, I thought about this test. We don't have a test for when there are 0 flags. I think that's a pretty obvious test. Should be a pretty obvious test. So let's go back. Which test was I doing? I didn't. Flag function calls. Shouldn't be that hard. I don't think it needs to be that hard. I've also been told don't update OBS, so I won't update OBS. So I wonder how much ad money I get when nobody watches my ads. Wait. Are we all in API? I do need to write tests for these. Yeah, we are. Aren't we? Where am I actually writing my tests? Oh, I know why those weren't added. I remember why they weren't added. Because they don't have any tests. We're in meetup test. So, what happens when it is not just invalid functions, but no functions provided? My water bottle is in the way of my screen. Okay, looks like it does pass. We don't want anything and we do want an error, so. Good. That makes me feel good about this. So now, this is a good time to explore the concept of mocks. So in Meetup Analytics, in Get Groups, we have get list of groups. Get list of groups is a function I'm actually calling later. And I'm sure if I go to analytics test, I have a get list of groups. I don't have a get list? Oh, see, I do. I don't know why it's exported. It should not be exported. Anywhere it says get list, that doesn't need to be exported. Yeah, that's fine. Oh. What's it? They still don't need to be exported. So here we have get groups. I've worked at places where they're like, you only need to test exported functions. Yes, that's true. But it's also so this is a good question. Where should we test? We ideally should test here at the API level. So the first place we actually need to test, well, actually the first thing we should be mocking would be send request. And as soon as I start mocking, all of these clients are going to have big pointers. So we're going to have to do a big overhaul to add these. GQL. It's not a GQL, it's just a QL. It should be, it's CQL. So QL is just an HTTP client, which means I can return whatever I want. So this should be really easy to test. I just need to make my own client. So, an API test, we're going to test send request. Then you don't actually do API tests that way. You go HTTP test .new server. No, well, I'll look it up. I've done it before, but it's always good to look it up. No, why don't they have like the HTTP, oh, this is HTTP test. Response recorder. So yeah, right here. Is what I need to do. That way I can use the client. So I'm just restarting my browser. So these don't always work with table tests. So we're gonna have a func right here, test. Client, I don't know why they have it do it like this. Send request. T start testing. T. And so we're just gonna have our tests. So now we would have a t.run. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. It might be a little bit easier. And so instead of that, we'll have a t.cleanup. And we'll close the server. So what we really need is when we set up our client. Yeah, I know. C. And we're going to be able to use the URL because TS will have a URL in it. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. And this would be t.client. And then URL is t.url. Pro token, well, we don't really need anything else, I think, for this function. We're not gonna do that because we're not ranging over it anymore. We're just calling send request with our payload. And so this no longer has a TT, it's just a C send request with QL in it. If error does not equal nil, right, because this is the successful request, we do that. And then we can just define what we want. Yeah, I know. Oh. Oh, there isn't a ts.close? What is... No, this is supposed to be ts.client. There isn't a TT. No, there's not a TT. So I forgot what I wanted. If there's no close, we don't have to clean up. So sex would be really good for me because I don't I generate these things and I didn't actually do a good job. I forgot where it was. So yeah, go Carl. Weather passed away, guys. That's a sad day. Sad day. Apollo Creed. What's I saying? This is meetup. So I create a payload here. I literally have make payload QL. And like, that's what I send. So in theory, now this is fine. Like if I ran this, it would return that and it would pass. So I need to do insert GraphQL. And It doesn't actually need the GraphQL. Like, this is definitely a little bit of a redundant test. Mostly this is just to make the success as a redundant test. The series of these tests is to make sure that we handle failures correctly. But since send request takes a payload. Oh. It would make sense to test make payload QL first. I don't care so much about, well, maybe I do. So this is make payload QL. Oh, and that does call get input variables, huh? So, but this is actually really good. If you want to remember what your code does, just write tests for it, because I clearly have no clue what it does. Thank you, Jays Adams 56. Nice to see you this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying your casual Friday and that it's not already Saturday for you, because that would be sad. Just because I said it was Friday. Are you a Go fan? You here because you like Go code? Because I'm a Go fan. So we're going to start with make payload QL and then probably jump over to get input and variables. It's not super important, I think. I that's a lie. I think it is very important to have tests for these. Because they need to be very repeatable functions and they need to match the behavior of the API. So, yeah, so this needs to be a group payload, and then we need to have a make an event payload. Anyway, because these are such repeatable behaviors, very important to have tests. Also, and then it doesn't really matter which one I do, but I need to make a middle payload. Because there's a pagination test. Make, yeah, payload with cursor. That's a good one. And then make a group payload with last cursor. Name, and it doesn't. Make group payload, just because group is simpler. It's very, very, very much simpler. So for this one, for the args, is group is true, is first is false, and that would be the same here. This is Go, so everything needs to have a comma. Are these... I have more args than that. So this one wouldn't have a last cursor. It would have a URL name. And it would have a number per page. Oh, I just have been hard coding this to 3, haven't I? No wonder it takes so long. And why we have so many duplicates. Full dump is live. Paste. A make. So this may not like the URL name test. I don't know what we actually do there. And then this will be the fun part. I'm gonna actually just... Okay, I do print it. I'm gonna say I want to run a test on just this and see what I get out. Oh, what is it? Is it test.name? Go help test. There is a way to do just one test. And that's by doing the underscore test, right? Oh, you have to provide the test name. Oh, well. Wonder what their added test tutorial looks like. Use the run flag for a specific test? There's no run flag. That's old. Oh, look, there's more. Go help test flag. Okay. Oh no, too many flags. Yeah, I know about bench. Fast fail list. Parallel short shuffle. that's not even what I wanted. Where is not cover? Oh, it is run. I didn't think it was. I have to do the other thing first, or else it doesn't look at all the packages. I wanted that. I just wanted the payloads. Is that so? Just one. I just need one payload. Oh, and it's not. It's an API test. So payload QA has a query, and it has variables. Now that's not what the variables look like. So this is what query looks like. Which, that is correct. It should be the URL name. No, this whole thing is the query. From here to here is the query. Sometimes I'm an idiot. And here to here. No. That's wrong. So this thing that it's printing, when it prints the make payload equals and want and got. I know it's broken. Before I broke my history. No, it's not gonna work. Query should actually say query, I believe. And yeah, this whole thing, all the way through, this is part of the query as well. It should have a space. And then that thing where it says URL name and items, those are actually the variables. Because that's like literally what we put at the top, the URL name and this stuff. And I do need that to be like this. So for this one that has a next page, start cursor and end cursor, that's correct. Now For the other wants, they will look different. And I'm gonna try and build these from memory. Because that's the exercise, to remember what your code does. It probably won't work that well. The URL name and that stuff should be the same. But what'll be different will be event search. These will be the same because it'll be is first, so there's no have, next page, or start court. There should be a node, and we're getting more than just the ID and name for the node, so I don't know. Now for this one, there we add a third one, and this would be start cursor. We're calling it cursor. And so here, I believe we add that. And then we add that here. And it should look... No, this one is still group, but it's with the last cursor. So I don't know. Oh, and this should be a Boolean? No, I don't know. I think it's an int. Now let's say it's a string. You know, I could just check the docs. What? The first one was supposed to pass. Want query URL name string item int network. Wait, one of them did pass. This is the first group one did. So now we're on the test event payload. So I did this wrong. So we have event search, first item numbers, okay, count, page info has next page, start cursor, end cursor. Oh, yeah, it's because the node, we want more. So let's see if that passes now. No, it still failed. Oh, well then, let's fix that formatting so that it's actually readable. But it needs to be the same number of characters. Cool. Oh, look. It's not even close to the same number of characters. So now, dang it, I was off by a comma. I do care. I don't need a comma. I also don't need that space there. Cool. So query string name ID, count page, has info, has next start cursor edge. I forgot the node part. On the event payload. And there's probably space here. Yes! Now we can move on to the next one. Oh, I was right about it being a string. Oh, the cursor is nothing? I wonder why the cursor is... Oh, what we got is different. So... Where does... Is it so it doesn't... Doesn't use cursor? I guess it uses cursor somewhere else. Oh, no, it does. After, look at that. Group search, items, number, and then it's after, so it's in the filter. And this, yeah, that doesn't make sense, because this is what we want in return. This is when we specify what we want. Oh, and I'm not... So it looks like here, I'm not giving it a cursor when I should... First of all, yeah, last cursor, is that a string or a boolean? Yeah, the last cursor, probably a timestamp, but everything with the cursor should have that last cursor, and we're just gonna call it timestamp. That means here, I expect this to be timestamp. This one needs to have after cursor cursor and I don't know. Yeah, it looks like these two are the same. So it looks like the tests are redundant. They are redundant. I have a space. I have an extra space somewhere. in the want, I have a space. That shouldn't be there. Here. Why did that one have a... I guess strings don't get spaces. Strings do get spaces? Why does the URL name not get a space? That's just... This is my code then. I'm gonna break all of these now. Watch. Yeah. Sorry. There's no convention. We're either doing no spaces or we're doing English grammar. So we're doing space after the comma. And then no space. Everywhere. And then I will... If they all pass, I'll get rid of the redundant test. Oh, they don't all pass. I broke them all. I didn't add a space. And who said white space doesn't matter? Me, the answer is me. I said white space doesn't matter. Wait, where? Is there a space that there's not supposed to be a space? Oh, there's not a dollar sign. On that last one on the want. This is not the right one. Oh, I went too far. See? No dollar sign. So now I only have 2 that fail. And it's because the GOTS don't have a space. Oh. This is in a different spot. I bet you. So right here, get input in variables has 2. For is first and is not first. What? Oh, I didn't do the spaces right. In theory, I don't need to test this. Because it's already being tested by that. But now that I have this built, is going to be really easy to test. Want one. Oh yeah. Edit variables? I don't know what that means, Mariah. We're gonna call this want input and want variables. And this is just a formatting function. So we should call it, instead of get, we should call it format input and variables. That's what it should be called, but it's not. But it can be, but I'm not gonna change it right now. So I guess the tests are right here. It's gonna be almost the same as this. Except for we don't need to care about if it's a group or not. So for this one, we're gonna say, oh, I didn't want to copy that one. I wanted to copy this one. Oops. Right, because this one doesn't have a last cursor. So if it is first, we're gonna have a want input. No, input does not look like that. So if it is first, it's only gonna have a URL name and item number. And then if it is not first, it's gonna have a cursor. Oh, look. And then want variables. Yep. Cool. And then we're gonna want with cursor args. Just like that. Yeah, and we want it after with the cursor. Yeah. Is first. Oh. Want input. I'm not gonna call these got because that doesn't make any sense. Input variables. And we can make these lowercase. Ian Peart. Input Yes. Okay. I don't know about send request, but we've got 2 closer. That's in Meetup, right? Oh, that's just here. So that must be in the API test. Yeah. So this is the after this one is called. This one is called. Now, send request has a payload QL, which we already have one defined. So we'll just do this one. So now we have a send request. Now, the reason this didn't work is because it's actually calling the API. No, it should be calling us. It helps to actually see what you're doing. Oh, so we should be getting a slice of bytes. And my want is a string, so this needs to be Isn't that how you write bytes as a string? Okay. Well, that's the other thing too. That wasn't there. Is it? $203? First of all, which one of these has a new line in it? This one does. There you go. So now that we have one that works and passes. So this one, we should have an error where it gives us JSON we can't send. I don't think I can send it bad JSON. I don't know. Maybe if I didn't fill the URL, we could get one there. I could send an error here, I guess. Add that an error header. Or maybe an invalid body. 1 second. Yeah. So I think I can create all of these errors, which is great for my tests. Send request with error. What was the name? Yeah, it was testbed.json. So everything can be the same. I mean, this is fine. Well, I guess it's JSON marshalling, so yeah, I can't do a bad JSON. Because it's... Well, I mean, yeah, because they're just strings. So it's really not something I can accomplish. Let's just do with 400. That means that instead of printing this, we'll do it, yeah. So if we get an error bad response, this response should be nil. So that won't work. If the error equals nil, we see expecting error on. But got none. And we don't check the status request. So there's really nothing I can do here. Actually, we can see if... Yeah, that works. So that is test with 400 request. And then I can try the check payload's hard to do. Like, I assume that's tested by IO read all. So that's hard to do. So I don't know if not setting the URL would make a bad request. Let's see if this passes, and then I can test removing the URL and see what happens. Test with error send request. Isn't that not what we called it? Test with 400 is what I called it. There wasn't an error? Mariah, what kind of stuff am I doing where I... Why am I not closing the body? Oh, Mariah. Now I should get an error. Okay. %. That is better than 0%. I'm really proud of that. Get list of events and get list of groups. See, I think... I covered these two already. And that's just a JSON unmarshal. So all of this functionality I already handle. So the only thing that I would need to test would be this. And the same here. So I'm not going to test that. So these right here. So let's go. Get groups is a for loop to get list of groups, which we just deleted from our tests. Get group data calls get groups and writes a CSV file. I don't need to test writing a CSV file. So, in my professional opinion, my 35% test coverage is very effective. No, we want to rebase. So let me go. We just need to make sure CI runs now. So as long as CI runs and passes, we should be good. But we may not have any tests in here. See? Generate coverage report. I think I took that step out. Okay, so that did something. If I went and look at, can I go look at the, no, I can't. Okay, we'll do that and then we'll add a dash V. Okay. Cool, I'm good. This is everything I wanted to accomplish today. Let's pull this out of a draft because it's not a draft anymore. No, I want to remove from draft mode. It's ready for review. And we can throw that in Discord, which I don't think is open, and call it a day. Okay, if you're still online, I don't know. Where is... Oh, it's just me. Okay, well, if it's just me, we're just gonna end the stream then.